Hello. Episode God knows what.
There it is.
Cameraman Cam is back. And this is going to be a lovely podcast where I don't know what we're talking about yet. So bear with us here. We're for sure going to talk about the first two camps. Cam just said he has a beef about Verona, and I have no idea what that beef may be. So should we start there?
Yeah, we have Verona Oaks coming up in what, a week? 2 weeks? Week and a half?
What's the beef?
What do you think the beef is?
That you want to be there? Because I'd love to have you there, obviously.
Yes. Why is that a problem? Why do I have a problem with not being there?
Because you like it there?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, because Adam Cincerello is going to be there.
Again.
Oh.
Dude, stop doing this to me.
Well, do you want to go?
Well, I can't go. I'm getting really close to due date now.
Yeah, that's true.
And California's pretty far away.
Yeah.
That's not an easy place to just fly home from. But
well, the good news is I will say that this won't be the last time, I don't think. Now, getting AC for the day is not it's not cheap, obviously.
yeah.
But I think that for content purposes and for the value he provides on the day of, and he does really enjoy doing it, I'm sure that we'll have him. This will be like his fourth or fifth one.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I haven't been to any of them.
You haven't?
No, I've never met him.
Oh.
Still.
Oh my God.
I know. We did
Wow.
how many years of Supercross, and I haven't met Adam Cincerello yet.
So for those that have been living under a rock, Cameraman Cam, absolute number one favorite rider from the beginning of time has been Adam Cincerillo. And for whatever reason, Cam has had the ability to work with and around a bunch of very cool names like Jet and Hunter Lawrence and many others, but not Adam Cincerillo for some reason.
Dude.
Yeah, one day.
Still. So it's actually funny. Do you remember, I think we were at Atlanta when he had that gnarly crash coming out of the whoops. It was like high speed whoops, red dirt, and his feet blew off.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the jersey that I have.
Wow, that was a huge set of whoops, too. I remember that.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
That was SGB days, right?
No, that would have been. No, I think that was 20. What year was that? I think that was 2023. I'm pretty sure it was his last year racing.
Yeah, you're right. So it was a shorter set, kind of high speed.
Yeah.
You were coming in after a wall jump.
Yeah, and then it was a straightaway.
After that,
yep.
Yeah, so that was the year I was in a death-defying battle with Hardy Munoz in the LCQ, remember? And I would pass him safely, and then he would scrub by me in some crazy way, and I'm just like, gosh darn it. And finally he crashed in the last lap in the whoops, and I just went right around him.
Isn't it amazing what you remember from these races?
Yeah, as soon as you spark a memory of one section of the track, I can remember the whole rest of the track and what year it was and every bit about it. I think you're so locked in, you just have such a good memory.
I know, but I wasn't even riding these things, obviously.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I remember every round we were at. When I watch on TV, I have no idea. I forget what happened last week already. Because
TV doesn't give you any perspective of where people are. It's hard to tell where they are on the track, and it's hard to visualize it. And when you're there, first of all, if anybody's not been to a Supercross before and you watched it on TV, when you get there, you're like, this is it? It's all just right here? And that's at least been my thing. Like on TV, it feels like it's huge and it's spread out and it takes them a long time to get back to it. And then when you see it in person, you're like, oh, it's just in it's in the stadium. It's all right here.
Yeah, I love it. You got to learn to watch it in person though, because it is different. Like you have the ability to keep track of everything basically, but you kind of got to learn how to keep track of everyone at the same time.
Yeah, because if you have ADD, it's tough because you just can't follow. That actually, that's funny because it's the same thing as a rider. When you're sitting there trying to watch the practice before you and come up with your game plan and maybe learn a section, it's so hard to just stay focused because you're hearing all these noises and you're like, whoa, what's that? And all of a sudden you look to the right and there's something going on over there. And you forgot the whole reason why you were standing there in the first place, which was to learn this one specific section.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hectic. But yep, so you're going to miss Verona. Sorry about that.
So I still haven't met Adam Cincerello, but...
still haven't met him, but guess what? Everyone at camp will meet him.
Yeah,
so if you want to meet Adam Cincerello, well, it's supposed to be a surprise.
We advertised it, didn't we?
We did advertise it. Yeah, that's right.
Some surprise.
So forgot about that. Adam Cincerello is coming to our next 5-day camp at Verona Oaks in California for one of the days, Wednesday or Thursday, I believe it is. and going to spend the entire day with us, which is really cool. So we had Jeff Walker at the first one. Jeff spent 4 days with us, which was
4?
incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, he was only supposed to be there for 3, decided to stay there for the 4th. And he wasn't supposed to, we paid him to just kind of be there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a head coaching position where Cincerillo's, he's getting paid as a coach. Jeff, it was just, hey, be there. And Jeff really stepped up in that he just did a little bit of all of it. He was helping riders. He was stepping in and coaching. He was filming YouTube videos with us. He was doing all of the things. He's a good character for it.
Oh,
the only thing that
dude.
Jeff
Yeah.
needs to get better at, and this will come with time, obviously, is he obviously needs to project louder when he's talking to a crowd of people. But that's obviously, that comes with just practice.
Yeah. Yeah, he was great. Super cool guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Adam Cincerillo, one day we'll meet him. Maybe.
one day.
Quit scheduling classes when I can't go with this guy. Okay, you want me to talk about upcoming classes? Is that something that you do?
Yeah, we're on tour.
Okay.
Where are we going?
We're on tour. February 13th, B52 hangar in Illinois,
Yes.
I believe.
Yep, indoors.
That one's
Yep.
with Ty. Shout out Ty. We're going to
Shout out.
talk about Ty later
Okay.
because his story came out.
I
and
was
it
so
wicked.
impressed.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Don't even go there yet. I couldn't believe it. It came out wrong. Ty,
No,
I expect you to be
didn't sound
good.
mean.
Anyway, February 27th, Swampland MX. That sounds appealing in Louisiana. That one's with Mitchell.
Selling like absolute hotcakes. So everybody in the swamp is signing up. So shout out to you guys, because that one's almost sold out already.
Wow,
And we
that's
haven't
crazy.
been there before. First time.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. Louisiana, huh? March 2nd, California. MMX Racing. I've never heard of that place. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
That-
Good track.
That looks like a photo of Mitchell, so Mitchell will probably be there. Also, March
Okay.
2nd, this one's you, Route 62 in Ohio.
Yeah. And we had to book a second day because we sold out March 2nd. So we're there for March 3rd. That one's selling out quick. So don't wait. It's an indoor spot. So we have a hard stop on capacity. So yeah, don't wait if you want to sign up for that one. Day one's sold out.
That's
already,
indoor?
weeks ago, I think. Yeah, indoor.
Oh,
it's
fun.
fairly big-ish for an indoor track, but still small, right?
Okay.
And bring your jackets, because I don't know if they have the heat on. But that'll be fun. So you guys will be with me for 2 days there.
That'll be great. Want to do one more?
Sure.
Okay, March 6th, South Fork MX in Virginia. That one's with Mitchell.
Ah, wow. In March, huh?
Yeah, that's a little bit bold. Is that bold? Well, March.
Yeah, well,
In Virginia, maybe.
I always tell tour manager Al that we have a very strict guideline on, you just Google average temperature in this location on this date. And I tell him that it must be, I'm pretty sure what I've told him is the average temperature has to be 55 degrees
Oh, interesting.
or higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I don't really I think where we're at now, there's no point in us just trying to go to locations when we're riding when it's in the 30s, if we can avoid it.
Yeah, that's no fun at all.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, we're on tour. Go to themotoacademy.com. We don't have any 5-day camps in March because our March camp, which was Motoland, got shifted to this week, which today, as we're filming this, is our last day at Motoland. And then the next 5-day camps will be, we've got 2 in April. We've got CGI facility in South Carolina, and we have
That one would be so
Airway
fun.
Heights in Washington.
Yep.
And then they really ramp up. So I'm pretty sure from that point on, we have at least 2 to 3 a month. And then when we get into summer, we have 3 to 4 a month. And they're going, so keep me on the rails with this conversation, Cam. Can we talk about the camps yet? What? Because I'm all excited about
What
it.
do you mean? Like the ones we did already or the upcoming ones?
Yeah, the ones we've done.
Yeah, of course we can.
Okay.
74 MX, Florida.
What? You were there for what day again? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, part of Wednesday?
No, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Sunday,
Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yep.
Okay. So you got enough of a taste of it. And that was the very first one we've done this year.
Yep.
Which means that, just to add context to this, we did 3 of them last year, and we did 2 of them the year before in 2024. So we had experience with 5-dayers, but this was on a completely different scale. Not that it was more riders, because we've handled this amount of rider count before. I think there were in between 80 to 90 people there, rider wise. With the families included, you're talking 200 to 300 people. And so we've handled that. But operationally, it was all new, which not much makes me nervous, but I was a bit nervous because there were so many unknowns of like the trailer and the whole setup of did I buy the right truck? Did I buy the right trailer? I bought a Dodge Ram 3500, which turns out was a beautiful purchase. I got it at 2018. Everybody told me, hey, buy it before COVID times because the parts for the diesels were better. So those listening that know what I'm saying there, maybe you can comment below. Let me know, did I make a good choice? So I found a 2018 Dodge Ram 3500 with 30,000 miles on it.
Dang.
Dude, it was like, this guy had garage kept, cleaned this thing like it was his baby. He worked at a dealership. So just like one of those guys that like this truck was his baby type of thing.
Dang.
Paid a lot of money for it considering it was a 2018, but I still feel like I got a great deal on a great truck. And then, so the next question was, well, what do we pull? Like, I don't know anything about any of this stuff. So I just on a whim bought a 32-foot trailer because it looked sick.
It is
and
sick.
It's the nicest trailer I've ever seen in real life. I think it is just beautiful. The black trailer, all blacked out with the kind of silver logo, looks so mean.
Yeah.
But it turned out that the 32 feet was almost the exact perfect length. I think we could, maybe next year we're going to need a stacker, I think, to just fit the supplies up top, do the bikes down bottom, maybe have a car or side by side in there, because we are going to need more bikes. But I'll circle back to this, but I ended up buying at the day after you left from 74MX, I bought a couple of bikes from Mackenzie.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Allie was pissed. So I bought a KX 450 and I bought a KX 250F, which were basically Mackenzie. These were they purchased as race bikes for his rider. Oh wow. Oh.
Pardon.
Talkative over there.
Pardon, Moto. Okay.
Bought these as race bikes. The person who he was wrenching for ended up kind of quitting. And so now Mackenzie and they were just left with mint bikes, one of which was completely race ready, full exhaust, tie foot pegs, ported and polished type of situation, like a race ready 450. So I bought those for a great deal, whole box of parts and pistons, top end, you name it, for those. So now that means we have a rental fleet. So we'll have a KX 250F, a KX 450, my YZ 450 I've decided to turn into a rental bike because the trip winner rode it all week. And so after he rode it, I'm like, well, it's soiled now. Might as well make it a rental.
Yeah, you ain't going to ride it. So.
Well, right. The rule for my bike is I don't want anybody ever riding my gas bike. The Starks, I don't care. But my gas bike, I don't want anybody ever to ride my bikes.
Oh, really?
So as soon as, yeah, because it doesn't feel the same after somebody's ridden it.
Dude,
even just for a little bit, I'm like, the clutch doesn't, it feels like they wore, I don't know, it just doesn't.
Yeah,
I
have the same problem. I have the same, yeah.
So Jacob, our trip winner from Czech Republic, rode it for the full week. And at that point, I'm like, nah, that's a rental bike now. So that's a rental. And then we're going to rent out the Starks as well. So we've got like 5 or 6 rental bikes, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But from your experience from being there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, what were your thoughts?
Oh, it was great. I mean, one, you're in Florida, which helps, especially in January or February, whenever we were there. But yeah, pretty legit. I've been to a couple different camps before. I think aside from the wireless mic being my Achilles heel, I think it was flawless. Did
you get the memo, or did you hear the report that it worked perfectly
this
week?
So welcome to technology. Wireless mics work on frequency ranges. And if you're in an area that has some radio, whatever, using that frequency, then wireless mics are going to be an issue. So I just got a generic, like, for instance, like here at the jobs that I do here, I buy frequency ranges that don't get used in Vermont. You know what I mean? For that one, I just bought some generic whatever because it's going to go all over the place. So hopefully it's not an issue going forward. But
Okay. And
anyway,
we don't have the ability to change that frequency
you're in a range.
in a moment like that?
You
Okay.
can change it, but you're in a range. When you buy wireless mics, you're in a certain range of frequencies.
Okay.
But
It worked completely flawlessly this week. You could go far away from it too, and it worked perfectly.
Of course.
Yep.
That's how it worked. Okay, well that's good. But no, the event tents are sweet. The trailer is sweet. The trailer has like air conditioning and everything. It is so legit.
Heat.
Yeah, it seems like the team just knows what they're doing now. It's great. Yeah. No, it was a good time.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Yeah. And it's a good thing the team knows what they're doing, because I had to leave the team midweek this week, and I had a lot of faith in them that when I left, I knew they had it. Which is a really, really nice feeling. And that was the plan, because I know I'm not going to be at all of them this year. I'm going to miss a lot of them because I can't possibly be at that many weeks of camps.
Right.
But the hope was we were going to get through the first few of practicing before I had to say, good luck, guys. You got it now. But yeah, they stepped up and handled it really, really well. And it's kind of one of those where, I don't know if anybody can relate to this feeling, but where you're so prepared that it feels like you're missing something, like where you're kind of just sitting there like, there should be more. There should be something going wrong. Like, why is there nothing? Why does this feel too easy? It's like suspicious. Why is this going so smoothly?
Yeah.
But it's nice because then at that point you can just pick apart the little stuff and optimize the little things. Like from the first one to the second camp. And I guess I'm bouncing around a lot here because I want to talk about Florida specifically and the rider experience and all of that. But going from Florida to Arizona, we changed closing ceremonies to Thursday night instead of Friday. And I think what it does is that allows people Friday is kind of that day where it's practice motos throughout the day, right? So if someone has a race to go to on the weekend, they want to get back to family. Like a lot of people were just kind of driving out of there at different times on Friday. And we realized that by the time 2 p.m. rolled around and we had our closing ceremonies, 40% of the people had already left. So this week we did closing ceremonies last night on Thursday, almost threw up, which gives us on Friday extra practice motos as well, which I think it's a win-win. So it's little tweaks like that.
Yeah. Also in Florida, we had trip winner Jacob.
Yeah.
Who was awesome to hang out with.
And I got to spend way more time around him in Arizona because I was in the house.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because we had two Airbnbs in Florida.
Yeah, and I got to spend a lot of time with him, a lot more time with him on the track as well. And I think we had some good breakthrough moments. So yeah, he's in an interesting situation. He reminds me of me when I was that age, and that he feels like whatever the decision is next, that it's like going to change the course of his life for forever. Kind of like that, desperation type of feel when you're that young. His goal, he's 17. He wants to do MX2 in the MXGP World Championship this coming year.
Wow.
And so in his head, he's just like, it's do or die, right now or never. And so it's hard to instill this mindset in somebody. But what I was trying to get through to him the whole 2 weeks, essentially, is that this year doesn't matter result-wise. It doesn't matter if you show up and don't qualify. It doesn't matter if you skip it altogether, which is what I would recommend. It just doesn't matter. What matters is that you can continue to focus on you, cultivate belief, and kind of work a little bit more on a big picture, long-term plan of like, you don't have to make it when you're 18 or when you're 19. So many people are confused by that because they see Deegan and they see these guys doing it. And so they compare their timeline to that. And I know I preach this a lot, but it's tough because when you're in it, I remember being there when you're 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, it just feels like this race on this given day this is my life. If I do poorly, then my life is over. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And he's like, so at the same time, he's like, well, I struggle with arm pump. I'm like, well, of course you struggle with arm pump if that's your mindset, right? If this race means everything to you, and we did such a fun experiment in front of everybody too. So we're in red group, we're working this corner, and he's riding it flawlessly with both feet on the pegs. But he pulls off and he's like, if I were to do that in a race next weekend, let's say in an MX2, he's like, I would get killed. I just feel so slow doing that. I said, all right, well, give me 3 passes. Do one where you're doing what you're doing now, which is stand up deep through the corner, sit at the end, both feet on. Second pass, sit at the beginning and leave both feet on. It's going to feel a little more uncomfortable. You might be able to go a little faster, but you might have less stability. Sit a little earlier, leave those feet on. That's second pass. Third pass, pretend that gate just dropped in MX2 and you were going as fast as you possibly can. Don't crash, but go as fast as you can, whatever that looks like to you. So he does the first pass flawless, does the second pass flawless, does the third one, almost crashes, like washes the front end so aggressive, foot dab, almost does a knack, like just a mess.
Almost
so he turns around, does it again. Foot dab, pulled out of position on even the second attempt of it. It looked noisy, it sounded fast, it looked borderline kind of fast, but it was just a mess. So he pulls off, and I asked the whole group, I say, which one do you guys think was the fastest? Who votes pass number 1? Half the group raises their hand. I go, who votes pass number 2? The other half of the group raises their hand. I said, who thinks the third or fourth one was the fastest? Nobody raises their hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jacob, there you go. I said, it's not even about which one looked better. I asked which one looked fastest, and they voted the first 2. And I go, which one do you think was the best? And he's like, the first one. And I'm like, so it's up here.
Right.
It's going to feel slow, which is the tough part. But as soon as it feels fast, that's why you're getting arm pump, because you're holding your breath and you're nervous and you're death gripping and all of those things you shouldn't do.
Yeah. Yeah, but that happens for everybody. It's amazing what I forget when the gate drops. Like, I remember, I think I told you this, like my first race back, right? Remember this few years ago?
Yeah.
Went and raced. Gate drops, shift to third, stayed in third until the checkered flag. I didn't shift one single time. Burnt out my clutch that day. It was a disaster. We won, but I left with a burnt out clutch and I didn't shift to fourth or down to second at all.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Isn't that a riot?
Yeah, that's a great example. I mean, it
just happens. I don't know.
Why? Can you explain a little bit more as to why for you in that situation? Like what was going on in your brain that fear or anxiety or excitement, or like what was it?
Oh, I think it just didn't even cross my mind to shift. So, but it was interesting though, because the next time I went and rode, I was like, my only goals for the day are don't burn out my clutch and shift. Like, so that's all I did is I was like,
what were your goals on the first day?
I don't know if I had goals.
Result,
I think it was my first race back. So I think I just wanted to like race again, make a good video maybe. But it was great. Went 1-1 in one of the classes, went 2-3 in another and all that stuff.
Absolute sandbagger.
Oh, and I was just ripping my clutch apart the whole time. But yeah, then when I went back, I was like, okay, my only things are don't burn out my clutch, shift a whole bunch. So I did that better. But you and I talked about this years ago, is like, I want to go in with the intention of when I'm racing to do a race like with my feet on the pegs or something like that, like have a goal going in, because the last time I went racing was after going in with no expectations and winning C class, which, for us matters. And I fell apart because I went in with the expectations of like doing well. And it was a total disaster. I had no fun because I was getting like 4th, 5th, 6th. And I was like, oh, I thought I'd do better and all this stuff. It was a disaster.
This was the last. So you've done 2 races, or have you done more than that?
I think I've only done the 2. Yeah.
So the second one you're saying is where you experienced that.
Oh, it was no fun. Yeah. I hit the gate first moto. Did you not see this video? You got to watch this video.
I did. I just got them confused and thought it was all the same day.
No. Yeah. I hit the gate and then hit the gate again in the afternoon.
You did?
Oh yeah. I hit it twice.
Oh, I remember seeing that video. That's right.
I think the first time was kind of not my fault because the gate came back up, but the second time was absolutely my fault. I stayed upright all day, which I guess is worth something, but yeah, I couldn't get off the gate. It was a disaster. But
yeah, it's funny how it doesn't matter if you're pro or if you're mid-pack in that C class, it's all the same problem.
Yeah.
That's an expectation problem, obviously, right? First one, you're riding a bit more free. You maybe didn't have a specific goal on the day, but even if the goal was make a good video, that's a good goal.
Yeah.
And And
Better than
the
trying to go
second
win.
one,
Yeah.
yeah, the second one, you kind of drift into some type of expectation of a result. And that's why I tell people at camp, it's like, listen, process oriented goal. Keep the feet in the pegs for a moto. Take all the
Right.
inside lines for a moto.
Oh, that's a
Don't use
good
the
one.
clutch for a moto. Yeah, there's so many fun little ones that it sounds simple and it's like, huh, that's it. Just, are you sure you shouldn't set a bigger or more goals than that? Nope, just that one. Because it's something that you can control. As soon as you set the goal, even of, I want to win this race, you don't have control of that, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you control certain variables of that, but there's too many other variables that are outside of your control that it's not up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
That's
what.
hard. That's hard.
Yeah. And it's at every level, every single level.
Uh-huh.
Like I still have I've only ever raced at one dirt bike track, by the way. I've never raced another track in my life.
Yeah, we have to do an experiment with that.
Yeah, we should sometime. I think that'd be fun because I know that track very well. I've been racing
Yeah.
it since I was a kid or whatever. But where was I going with that? But still, I mean, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So like I show up to that track and like my forearms go numb because when I was a kid, I used to be so nervous about racing. And it's just like being in the environment, like you just lose all. Yeah, it's a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, just trigger. Yeah. Brings you right back into when you were 11 years old, however old you were when you were there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's strange. It's strange.
Yeah. But I mean, I think everyone can relate to that, not just on dirt bikes, but with everything. Let's go back to Florida.
Sorry.
Let's talk about the experience. Let's talk about the rider experience. Well, we had Jake up there. We talked about that a little bit. We had Elsa there.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about Elsa for a second because
Yeah, she's impressive.
yeah, I was just impressed with her and her dad. You can kind of get a feel for what that relationship is like.
Can I just say, I love her dad.
Yeah.
He is awesome. Like we hung out
Yeah.
at the Airbnb after the track and he was like giving me history on Italy and all this stuff. It was just like, it was brilliant. Yeah.
Smart. I was bummed because I didn't get that much time around him because I wasn't at the houses, but it seemed like a really smart guy. And for Elsa to only be 17, she turns 18 in a few months, but really has her head on right for somebody that is that age.
Yeah.
And
Well-spoken.
well-spoken, but even just to understand not to toot our own horns, but to understand the opportunity that is in front of her with the Moto Academy, right? While right in the peak of her racing career, she understands the value of the Moto Academy. I think that alone just shows that they're not thinking short-sighted, that they see the big picture, because most riders that are trying to make it wouldn't dedicate their time to helping others and working with the Moto. It's just like she sees the vision, she gets it, which is really cool. Also, not to be sexist, but she doesn't ride like a girl at all.
She rips.
Yeah,
from what I
she
can
doesn't jump like a girl. And again, not that girls should jump a certain way, but it just
And not that
from
they
past
don't rip
experience.
either. You know what? Like,
Yeah,
let's just cover our
but
butts here.
we're I think everyone that listens to this podcast knows how I feel about the whole girl thing and
Yeah.
my belief on what they can accomplish. But we're going through a really cool evolution of their getting way better. And she's that younger generation that's coming up that she's legit. She's legit. She rode my 450 a bunch during the week. She loved it, of course. And same thing with Jacob, his first time on a 450 throughout the week as well. And she was like jumping this triple in the sand, big triple, probably 100 feet, no problem. Her hips were really good. She wasn't pushing the bike away from her in the air. Looked really racy. She would be good at Supercross. And I still would love to. One day I'll do this once we have our own home base. Do the experiment of let's get a girl and train with me for a couple of years and just be Supercross only, Supercross focused.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be her one day.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, she was awesome. And there were so many girls in Florida. And what was crazy, what group were all the girls in?
I have no idea.
They were all in red group. They were all fast. Every girl that was there, it seemed, was really fast.
Yeah.
Because you had Ellie, you had Elsa, you had Brandy, you had Addie, and I'm definitely missing a handful, I feel like, but they were all in red group, just shredding, which was super cool. And then, of course, in the green group, we had Lovely and we had Pepper. who were on they were the sisters that were on the CRFs.
Yeah.
Yep. Who else did we have girl wise that week? Those are the ones that kind of popped to the top of my head. But yeah, and it was also what Florida was. I wish people could. The live streams are really helping, I think, with capturing what this experience is like. Florida had everyone from 5 years old to, I think the oldest was 67 or 68.
Yep.
Everything in between. And I'm talking every type of rider and person in between that. Male or female, beginner, nearly pro, ex-pro. You had all of the things. And when you're at a camp, the first question people ask when you say that is like, all right, sure, you can market that, but how do you actually implement that on a training day? It feels perfect because you've got the 4 groups, you've got the green, the blue, the orange, the red, and everybody is perfectly put into their group. And they just slide right into these rotations where you can handle that type of skill spread.
Right.
It just works. So the whole flow of the day, I'm so impressed that it works.
Yeah, totally. It
works so well.
I don't know if we've articulated this clearly. Again, I'm new here. But yeah, with these 5-day camps, you guys choose tracks that are huge and allow 4 groups to be out at the same time where you can still hear people talking and also everyone's in skill levels. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's laid out well.
Yeah, we didn't have to yell over bikes at all throughout the week. It just felt exactly how it should feel, which was cool. Yeah. Speaking of the live streams,
yeah, those
the
are
only
wild.
big negative was the only big negative with Florida was our live stream guy Jackson got stuck in Canada
somewhere
and then could only make it for a day or day and a half, whatever it was. But we had some good fill-in options. You did it for 1 or 2 of the days, didn't you?
Yeah, I did it a little bit, and then I did it one day.
The owner's son did it for one of the days. They were just cut a little shorter than what the initial plan was, but I still feel like it was very, very cool.
Yeah.
And you can see that audience starting to build. And when I went in there, I mean, it was amazing for me to leave Arizona.
Yeah, and just watch.
And then just watch it.
Yeah.
I felt bad though, because I completely just went into micromanagement mode. I was like calling Ethan and I'm like telling Ty in real time, hey, tell Ty, because I just can't help it. So at one point I'm watching Ties with Red Group and they're doing jump day. This was yesterday. And he's working one-on-one big time with the people that are out there, but he's got the other half of the group back sitting in the corner just watching. And because I left, we were down 1 assistant coach. Aiden slid up to head coach, but that put us down 1 assistant coach. So he didn't have an assistant coach at his station. And there's nobody with the other group that's just watching on. And which is, I mean, it's probably fine, but this is me being picky. I'm like, you can't just leave that group sitting there because it's too much downtime. They're going to lose interest. It's going to start to feel boring. You got to stand with that group, tell them what they're seeing while simultaneously watching the people that are out there and trying to give them feedback if you have to pull them off. So I call Ethan and I'm like, go run over the tie, tell him to get back over to his group. Don't let him bail on his group as he's out there.
Poor Ethan.
And then like 4 other things happened within a short period of time. And I was you yelled at me because I'm commenting through the live feed chat, the instructions.
I'm like, AJ,
and you text me and you're like, AJ, get out of the chat. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I was in the chat that everybody could see.
Just everybody else in the chat is watching the live stream. Like, man, AJ, like, geez, yeah, man. I'm like, dude, stop commenting. I was about to ban that AJ Catanzaro account on the Moto Academy.
I almost got blocked.
I almost got banned by yours truly.
Totally forgot. I totally forgot that I was in the actual whoopsie daisy.
Okay, so Motoland has been an unbelievable success live stream wise. I mean, we are live streaming from anywhere we want for 7 hours straight. Do you know how crazy that is? Like, you could not do that a few years ago. And we're just...
And it looks and sounds
insane.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
Insane.
I am so blown away with how good it sounds and looks. It just, dude, it's a whole different level.
Oh, you're just there. You're like there with them. It's incredible.
And as we get better at being able to fill those gaps and that dead time, and but even with the gaps and the dead time, it still kind of feels like you're there and you're just a fly on a wall in the experience. But where it really hit me was when I was there. This was, I think, Tuesday. On the live stream, I did an interview with Little Danger. Did you see that clip?
Dude, Cohen edited that. And the black
Perfect.
screen, I
Oh,
was
yeah, hilarious.
dying, dude. It was so funny. Just
Nobody
nobody.
and just black screen. Yeah, so I go, who's your favorite rider? Danger Boy. Who's your second favorite rider? Danger Boy. And I mean, no hesitation in these answers either. Who's your third favorite rider? Nobody.
Dude,
And yeah, he did. He edited it perfect. But it was in that moment that I right away, I walk over to Ethan. I'm like, hey, it's 12:22.
Yep.
Let Cohen know that we just had a hilarious moment. Cut that clip and get it up on socials like ASAP.
Right.
Because Danger's goal for the week was to get Deegan to comment on one of the videos from the week. And I go, this is his moment. And it happened.
Yeah.
Deegan commented on it.
Dude, that's so good. Oh my god.
I DM'd it to Deegan, but I didn't tell him to comment on it. I just DM'd it to him. Because I tell you what, Deegan knows what he's doing. That dude is so active on social media. Like, he won't miss an opportunity to, make himself, like, do the right thing. So, and I knew that. So I just thought, I'm not going to ask him because I know what that's like for people to bug you for stuff. I'm just going to send it to him. And he DMs back and he goes, ha ha ha, I love it. And he didn't comment on it instantly. It was like an hour later, but he went back and he commented on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, perfect.
Smart.
Like, that's exactly, yeah.
Yeah, the little Danger Kid's got one heck of a following, dude.
Yeah, their parents are good at putting together. I mean, have you seen his post from this week? That is the ultimate. That's the type of people that I want to get at these camps in an ambassador role, that know how to put together clips to make it seem like, whoa, what a cool experience.
Yeah.
I don't want to, like, hey, I had a good time at the Moto Academy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want
Show it.
That's the type of stuff that I want. So, and I think that the more ambassadors we get that are good at that, the more it creates the example, and it'll be a flywheel effect, like a snowball effect of, we'll get better and better user generated content.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a big part of it. But I think the live stream stuff,
it's insane.
That's going to put us on we've been very good at kind of leading the charge on a lot of stuff, I think, in the last 4 years. This is another thing. I don't know if there's any other dirt bike people doing live streams that I know of.
Yeah, not that I've seen, but also, like,
not on that caliber.
This is kind of a hard step for somebody to jump, to be like, okay, I'm now going to live stream for 7 hours a day.
Yeah, which is cool because it's a big barrier to entry. It's expensive to get the setup.
Yeah,
you got to have a person manning the setup for the whole time. And that's tech savvy.
You basically need an MC as well, which we're working on. So there's a lot of things we're gonna do with this live stream. Like, we have a long way to go, but the fact that we can go live from anywhere in the world all day long is absolutely insane.
Maybe there could be a Moto Academy live. Channel.
We just have so many. Do you really want another channel?
Well, I mean, I feel like it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Right? I have no idea. I don't know what's best, but where all the live streams live, and then all the replays of the live streams live, where all of the shorter cuts that can be like more clippable, maybe digestible 5 to 10 to 15 minute clips from the live streams exist. Yeah. So that way it doesn't muddy up the other channels.
Yeah. Because live stream clips do well, I think. But
right. They can when done right. That's why I was asking yesterday, like, should these have thumbnails and proper titles? And I think yes.
Yeah,
right?
It's on my list. The other thing I'm doing is I'm cutting. You probably would never notice, but I've been cutting the live streams, like, once they're done, to cut out the lunches and all that stuff.
Cool. Okay.
So they live up.
I was wondering because I'm like, why do they seem way shorter than? Okay, so that's why.
Yeah. Because I'm cutting out the dead zones. So if you re-watch a live stream, it's pretty entertaining to go.
Are you using AI to do all this? Or
no, it's just,
or what?
It doesn't take long to do it manually, because it's like you're stuck in the YouTube editor when you're on YouTube. Like, you're pretty limited.
Oh, so you're just using the YouTube editor?
Yeah, because I don't want to re-upload it and then lose our analytics. I'd rather keep our analytics and just cut the dead space out.
Oh.
I'm a big YouTube analytics guy, So,
speaking of analytics, how are we doing for the live streams?
They're doing great. So we're doing like 10,000 people a day on Facebook, which is kind of funny. Now,
really?
Yeah, I don't know
is that our biggest audience?
That's like click in, like 10,000 people clicked in. Like, I don't know I think concurrent viewers, definitely YouTube.
Yeah.
followed by Instagram.
The YouTube chat seemed like the most lively chat.
That's the chat that I've been paying attention to. That
Okay.
one, and then Instagram. Instagram chat is usually pretty, like people are engaged. The problem is Instagram gives you so and so joined the stream, so like your whole feed is just like people
Yeah.
joining, and you don't actually see the comments, so it's a little bit clunky. But we are live streaming on Twitch. The funny thing about Dirt Bike Riders is they probably don't know what Twitch is, but Twitch is like
anybody watching on there for us yet?
Not really. We want to push Twitch, I think, because Twitch is built for this. Like YouTube is catching up, but Twitch is very much the live stream platform, and we can have memberships and all sorts of stuff on there. So we want to push Twitch, but I'm not sure people know what Twitch is. Some people do, I'm sure, but I was a gamer. At this point,
so we just need to continue to educate people that we are doing the lives. I still think that 99.9% of people out there aren't aware yet.
Yeah.
And with the amount of camps that we're going to have, I mean, it's just such an opportunity for people we're going to be doing these all the time.
Yeah. In terms of value, this is the only thing that we do where it doesn't really make any sense. It's meaning like we're almost giving too much.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
But it's so valuable. It's so valuable, and you're just gonna fall in love with all the characters too, because you get to know them. You're right there with them in real time. It's incredible.
Yep. But I think it's accomplishing exactly what we've always wanted to accomplish, which it's give away as much free value as you can.
Yep.
All the information for that matter. Like I'm not withholding, especially now with our courses and using the full courses as the lead magnet. Like look at the 21-day jump course. That's the most in-depth jumping course that's ever existed in the sport of motocross, and we're offering it for free.
Yeah. That launch did amazing, by the way. I don't know.
And the reason, well, shoot, somebody told me we got 1,000 people inside of the app yesterday.
Yeah, it's awesome. Welcome
Holy
to the Moto
crap.
Academy app.
1,000 people in one day. I never thought I would hear that. I mean,
yeah,
I don't even know if 100 to me was pretty mind blowing in a day.
Yeah.
1,000's nuts. And now yes, that's free people, so now it's converting them into the paid subscription. But at the same time, the paid subscription is important to me because recurring revenue is very powerful. That can help us with our payroll expenses. Like we've got over 50K in payroll now. Like it's no joke. So it would help us scale. But we got Ethan calling me.
Is that why I can't see you?
Yeah.
He literally knows.
I know. You want to just text them, make sure everything's okay and it's not an emergency?
Yeah.
What was I just going to say? It was important too. Oh, but here's my theory, because this is what I like talking to you the most about. It's just like vision stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, just make sure it's not an emergency.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
If it's not, just let him know he's fired.
Poor Ethan. He says, "Oh shoot, my bad. I think we're good." Now I can't see you, but that's fine.
That's okay. You were probably staring into the abyss anyway. So, or were you looking at me?
I was looking at you.
Okay,
it's
let
fine.
me pull it back.
Whatever. He says he has something cool to show you. I said, great.
Okay, so you ready for
vision
that you already probably know about, but I'm just excited about it.
I don't know if I know anything.
So my belief is that if you rewind 5 to 7 years ago, everybody was starting to get into forming a community, paid subscriptions, paying for courses online. I mean, maybe even longer than 5 to 7 years ago, but you get the point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with just a flood of information online and a bunch of high-level businesses offering more and more and more of their information just for free on social media, and now with AI, and you've got like so much information that it's absolute information overload, you then ask the question of where then is the value? And I think that number one, the value is in the brand and credibility, brand credibility, so that you have trust in a brand or a person. because without that trust, nowadays you almost can't tell what's true and what's not. And I think that we are coming right back into an era where people want experience, and experiential type of offers are going to be what people are shelling out big bucks for and want to be a part of. So our main goal with everything that we're doing right now, in my opinion, is to get people to go to these camps and experience what it is like to be at a camp.
Yeah.
Right? It's one thing to watch it, and you can get all the information in the world just from watching these live streams, from watching all of our videos. There's nothing we're going to tell you at camp that you already haven't seen in a video.
Right.
But for the most part, but to experience it is a whole different ballgame, and that's what people will pay. That's what people will pay for.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where my head is at with all of this, and then taking the experience to the next level of doing the 3-day retreat and having just different levels of experiences.
Yeah. 100%.
Yep. So, and I think all the other stuff is very important, obviously, but that's kind of where my head is at now. It does pain me to get 1,000 free people or 1,000 free people into the app and not be converting them to the paid tier as efficiently as I'd like to be converting them to the paid tier. And I tell you what, guys, for those of you that are trying to start any type of subscription service, whether it be an app or Patreon or you name it, trying to outpace churn, good luck. Good luck, because it is, you think like it's going to be a windfall of all this money to just start a subscription and this is going to do it. This is where it's at. It's been about the most difficult thing that we've ever had to try and do is actually scale the app.
Well, I think
income-wise.
Yeah, I think
income-wise.
I think there's some subscription fatigue too, though. I mean, you went from TV to now no one has TV anymore, and everybody has 6 TV subscriptions, right? And everybody knows revenue-wise that it's the model that is usually the most effective. But as a consumer, it's there's fatigue. Like, I get that.
Nobody wants another subscription anymore.
Yeah, so really it comes down to like who can add the most value for the longest amount of time is kind of how I see it. I don't know if I'm correct in that, but
yeah, and I wonder if there's a reality. So there's a guy I listen to, his name is David Guillem. He talks about Kabbalah. Do you know what Kabbalah is? Just an ancient, I think you and I have talked about this before.
I don't know if you and I.
It's like a form of, it's like an ancient spiritual tradition, not tradition, like it's spiritual wisdom, ancient spiritual wisdom. It's called Kabbalah. It's basically Christianity. It's like the same thing. But
for some reason, I doubt that, but go ahead. Go ahead. I don't know anything about it, but
everything he does is pay what you think. What does he say? Pay what you can, or pay. It's like up to the consumer to pay whatever they want to pay.
What?
For the service.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
And
I don't think so.
Everything that he is a co-founder of Mary Ruth's Organics. So the dude is probably worth hundreds of millions of dollars now. But everything that he does online, which is a lot now, is on that. It's on that wavelength of pay what you can, pay what you think this service is worth. I almost kind of feel like that's not a bad idea.
Interesting.
I don't know how we would do that on a subscription level as far as the logistics behind it and the back end, but I don't know if that would be better or worse for us, because I bet we'd get a lot of people paying us a lot more than $19.99 a month.
Right.
Maybe you'd have a lot of the people that are free right now that would just feel like maybe we'll do $1 a month or $4 a month. And I think in the long run, who knows? That I was just thinking of that the other day. But
can we talk about your trip to Vegas?
No, I don't think we did.
I said, can we?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I'm dying.
You would have loved it.
I know. And you left me here again. I bet Adam Cincerello was there.
He was. He was. I invited him, and then I said, just don't tell Cam.
Yeah, great.
Like, okay, I won't.
Perfect.
And okay, so yeah, I'll keep some details disclosed, but disclosed, undisclosed. But
No,
yeah, so
disclosed.
I flew to Vegas. I flew to Vegas for 2 days. Went to a scaling workshop at acquisition.com. So if anybody's heard of Alex Hermosi, are you? Yeah, and you're really familiar with Alex Hermosi. You read his
I
books,
study
right?
the guy. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Wow. So we haven't talked about this at all.
No, it's killing me. I don't
Um,
know. This is like ridiculous to talk about on the podcast, but I don't get time with you otherwise. So
yeah. Right. No, this is fine because oh man, it was so good. So 2 days. It was $5,000 a seat, right? Or else I would have brought you or somebody else. Which in hindsight, it would have been worth the investment to bring somebody else.
it's okay.
Now,
They do it from time to time.
now, yeah, we could always go back and do another one. I'm going to talk about a lot when it comes to this. So I think the biggest thing that I pulled from the 2 days was how to run an event.
Oh, really?
I was looking at it with that lens more than anything.
Like how they
there was
did
a lot
it.
of how they did it.
Yep.
There was a lot of good information, but 99.999% of the information was stuff that I already knew because I've studied it extremely closely and I know most of what there is to know about anything that they would teach. So, which this is kind of like similar to Moto Academy, right? So most of their presentations, most of the things that they were talking about, I did already know. But I was looking through it at a lens of, okay, let's be open-minded and see if there's any aha moments I could have through this and just any maybe assumptions or limiting beliefs that I can break through and look at things with a different lens, different perspective. And let's study this event and see how you can run an event at the highest level. From the time you walked in there to the time you left on the second day, it was the most well thought out. It was kind of like going to Disney. In that, like, if you look at going to Disney from a business owner's lens, you're just like, whoa.
Yeah,
They
it's
have thought
incredible.
of everything. They have thought of every single second of this experience. And that's what this was. You walk in, I was kind of, feeling under the weather the first day. So they were right away, the one person that introduced himself as I walk in, he comes around, he's got like a Tylenol for me. He offered me a blanket. So
What?
just picture me. Yeah, like,
You're kidding.
I'm front row. So just picture, like, I didn't say yes to the blanket, but I was just cracking up because I'm like, that's so me, like just being just hovered up in the front row.
That sounds about right.
Huddled up under a blanket. And you walk in, you get this cool lanyard, you get this thing, you're meeting everybody. It was just like really, really clean, the whole first part of it, even before you got there, the way that every piece of this experience. And then even the way that they had the room set up, the way that they had the presentation set up, their speakers were flawless. They had all of their executives essentially were their presentation speakers. Super high level dudes, all talking about different aspects, whether it be hiring or marketing or sales or whatever. So day one was a lot of the presentation stuff. Day two was really, really cool. So day two was roundtables and then Q&A with Alex. So you didn't see Alex at all in day one.
Mm-hmm.
Day two, he was only there for an hour and a half, maybe at most. But you got roundtables with each executive. So they grouped you up by revenue. So there was 4 or 5 roundtables set up. And I was in a group that was like, it was like 3 million to 15 million, 3 million to 10 million, something like that. So every other CEO in this circle was in that range somewhere because, they've done the math and figured out that CEOs that are in this revenue range are experiencing kind of the same struggles. They have probably close to the same amount of employees.
Interesting.
So it'd be appropriate. There was maybe
Grouped
I
by
forget
skill
how many
level.
others. Yeah, basically. yeah, basically. And what's interesting is, my personality. I'm kind of like an observer more
Right.
so in a public setting like that. Like I would normally kind of sit back and listen and watch and observe. But I knew that was my time to step up and pull as much value from it as possible. And I also recognized that everyone else was sweating it.
Oh, really?
Like they were nervous and insecure. And I'm like, all right, I'll step up.
Just here's my
And
business.
so I just owned it with I was asking, and not in like a rude way where I was overstepping and just being the needy guy, but I basically led every single conversation with every workshop when these executives were walking around. And I just got every bit of value that I could, asking the questions that I needed to ask. And everyone was actually thanking me afterward because my questions were helping everybody else. So then midway through the day, somebody comes over and they hand me this black card, and it's my invitation to get a one-on-one with Alex. And so I was one of only 5 CEOs that got one-on-one with Alex.
What?
Yeah.
You haven't told me any of this.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. So, and even that, so the way that they did that, like, experience of like the presenting that to me and how special it made me feel of like, oh, wow, I'm one of just 5 people in here to get one-on-one with Alex. It just made you feel really cool, right?
Dang.
And so then everybody in my group is looking over, wondering what the card meant, and it was just kind of funny. So I then had to think about, okay, well, what is my question for Alex? And the one-on-one with Alex was in front of everybody else.
Oh boy.
Right. So it's like you got your personal one-on-one time for however long the conversation needed to go back and forth to get your questions answered.
Oh, that's so valuable though for everybody.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. But everyone else, the other 4 that had these cards, sweating it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I got this. Because there's nothing to be nervous about. I'm here for me. Like, I just want to get value for me. And also I'm used to talking in front of people. They send me first.
Oh, great.
Right. So I had to do like the mic test.
Okay.
And everything with Alex in the corner of the room. He walks in and he didn't get introduced yet, but I see him in the corner of the room. So they're mic testing with me. And then Alex walks up. I'm like, for the mic test, they had me read my question. Who am I? What is the Moto Academy? What's our revenue? What is our projections for 26? What's my question? Like, what's my question? So I read that in the mic test. He walks up and I go, you want to just cut right to it? You want me to read that again? And he goes, no, let's get right to it. And so there was a couple things. I said, it's been clear when I've worked with some of the numbers here that scaling the camps is going to be the ticket. Right. I mean, it's double the revenue projection for 26. It's better for customer transformation. It's better for content. It's better for absolutely every reason that I can see. I'm afraid to scale down the tour dates because of competition that are trying to hit our regions, and I don't want to just scale down too much on the single day camps. I said, but the margins are really tight on the single day tour dates, and a lot of them are either negative when it comes to net profit or basically negligible when it comes to net profit. Without hesitation, didn't have to think about it for a second. He goes, so your competition is copying your business model that it doesn't make money. And I go, yeah. Everyone starts laughing. I'm like, well, yeah, okay, you're right. I guess you're right.
Well, that was easy.
And so he's like, focus on the camps. And then he asked what my prices were for the camps. And he could not believe what the prices were and said that it absolutely does not make sense. He said for the single day tour dates, we're commoditizing ourselves with the pricing because there are other people that are doing it. And they're doing it at the same price. And then for the camps, it just simply priced way too low.
Yeah, the value to camp was out of whack. To be honest with you.
Yeah. And so he said, do you have a fear of raising prices because you were the person that couldn't afford it one day? And I go, yep, that's exactly why.
Yep.
And so he goes, don't worry about that. You can always provide scholarship. And this is the idea that I had anyways, which was, do X amount of spots per camp, 20% of them, whatever it was, at a scholarship. And have different varying levels of scholarship where people can apply and either get it for a big time discount back to what the prices were, or maybe even free for certain people that are under a certain income threshold or whatever. So that way those people don't miss out. Because that was my biggest thing. But then he explained why raising prices is so important. And I just like, this was the one moment I left with where the light bulb kind of went off. He goes, wait till you do the math. And I immediately, as soon as I got back in the car, I didn't even pull out of the acquisition.com parking lot. I'm talking to chat GPT and like having it spit out all these things. Like I sat there for an hour afterward crunching all the numbers.
Yeah.
He goes, wait till you crunch the numbers. And when you raise the price, what it does it's just there's no risk to raising the price, because I think everyone's fear is that you're going to get way less people to sign up. Right. When I did the math based on our price change that we've now implemented as of 2 days ago, and by the way, we're getting equal or more signups than we were before.
Well, the value's still there. I mean, it really is. Like, we just have to do a good job of showing it to people, which is my problem. So,
yep. And he goes, you will get better customers. You'll get better, more qualified customers at the higher price point. He goes, have you ever discounted something or offered something for free, and that customer ends up being the neediest of all the customers and kind of the worst of all the customers? And I'm like, well, yes.
Every single time.
Time after time after time. Every time.
Yeah, basically every time.
In fact. And he goes, when you price higher, you will get better customers. And when I crunched the numbers, there was a ridiculous revenue increase from that price increase if signups remain the same. Ridiculous. Game changing for the whole business. Then I said, okay, give me some scenarios here in 10% decrease in signups, 20, 30, 40% decrease in signups. We can go to a 40% drop-off rate in signups for 2026 and still break even on revenue at a 40% drop-off in signups.
Jeez.
And what he said to me is, he goes, that is a win. That is not a break even. That's not a net break even. That is a win, because you're getting way less people that you have to serve at these events, so they can be better events.
Right.
Instead of, let's say, 100 people at an event, if it's 60, that's better for the customer, right? You're getting better customers. And what was the third thing? Oh, and you have a higher ceiling on revenue. So let's see if that 40% drop off is your break even, then think about how much more revenue you can make when you start filling those spots back up, if there was a drop off. So that was one of the big aha moments. Another thing that they did, which was just so incredibly well done, is they offered an upsell at the end of the first day of the workshop. And this was so interesting to me, because I was like, why do they do that at the end of day one? So at the end of day one, they run you through a slideshow. They're presenting. It kind of feels really organic and natural in the presentation that they're doing. And they offer what they call an L2 workshop, where you get to spend a day with you and just 6 or 8 other CEOs. And they go really deep on X, Y, and Z. And it's kind of the next step beyond what this workshop is. To be honest, it was kind of what I thought the workshop was going to be in the first place, based on the information that was provided to me beforehand, which was what was really interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, but it was $35,000.
Jeez.
For this upsell, for this one day.
Yep.
And they made the offer, and then they said, if you look over to your left, we have these sales guys, and they said, over here, like 7 people in matching purple shirts raised their hand. They were like these young kids, early 20s, raised their hand, said, over here. And then they literally stopped and put music on quietly for like 15 minutes while everybody got up and went over and talked to the salespeople, and then purchased this upsell and put on purple lanyard that then said, like, you could start to see who had bought this L2 workshop and who hadn't. And I think at the end of day one, probably about 30% of the room bought that $35,000 upsell, which I thought was pretty impressive.
That is.
But it left me wondering, why did they do that at the end of the first day? Like, because I'm not ready to buy that workshop yet, because I have all my questions are unanswered still. The second day with all the workshops and Alex coming and all, none of my questions are answered yet. So then on day 2, right after Alex leaves, they talk about the upsell again, and then they tell you every step of how to do an upsell, why they did it on day 1. And why they did it on day 1 was so that on day 2, they could teach you exactly how to do it and walk you through each step of it. It was like, It was so interesting how they did this. But then at the end of them teaching us every angle of how they did this upsell and why they did this and why they did this, they then offered it again, took a quick 10-minute break. By the end of this, I would say 70% of that room bought the $35,000 upsell. Almost everybody had this purple lanyard on. I didn't do it.
Wow. I wonder what the upsell is at level 2.
Well, okay. So hang on.
Okay,
so then I didn't do it because I'm like, wow, I'm very interested, but I felt like I kind of I had my game plan and my next move in my head of what I needed to do. So I'm like, I think I got it. I could always come back, do this again. I think I've got it. And $35,000 also just feels like a lot of money to invest in a one day thing, right?
Yeah,
That's not even,
it's a lot.
Still not even personalized to you. It's still 7 or 8 other people in that room. And so then the event ends. I was pumped with how the conversation with Alex went. And on my way out, I got an envelope with my name on it. And she said, Alex wanted us to give this to you. And I go, all right, here we go. What's this? How many people did they just give this to? I didn't even open it yet. But I'm like, what a beautiful play that was.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Just to make you feel special on your way out. So I opened the envelope. They said, based on what your business is, based on hearing what it's all about and everything that they learned through the 2 days on my business, they would like to invite me to their L3 workshop.
Far out.
So basically bypassing the L2 workshop. And it said, didn't have any price, didn't really have any information. It said, text this number if you're interested. So right away I text the number, set up a call with their salesperson and hop on the phone. And now this workshop is work with the acquisition.com team for a year. This is basically what they describe as dating before you get married. So acquisition.com, they're a portfolio company. They invest in businesses. So this is them saying that this is the next step before they're like highly interested in buying into this business. Right.
Yeah.
But let's work with you for a year, really get some of these things kind of optimized and worked out. Guess how much this upsell was?
I don't know. 6 figures? It's got to be
$100,000.
Yep.
$100,000.
So you bought it?
No, I was this close.
Oh, dude.
This close. And the only reason I didn't do it is because I said, listen, I got to go to camp in a day. I got to wrap my head around the camp. I just don't have enough like mental capacity. So I set up a call with him at the end of the week. And by the time the end of the week had come and gone, the excitement of it all kind of wore off. I had time to digest and think about what my next steps were. I also had time to think about like, what is the upside here? Because the upside is that they then want to buy into the Moto Academy. And I'm like, I don't think I see a vision where this can get scaled to $1 million a month company in the next few years. I could see it being $100 million company on our own in the next 3 to 5 years. I'm like, I'm not in a rush. I don't need anybody to buy into this.
Right.
Because it's what I love doing the most. It's not like I'm just in it for the money and I'm trying to sell it and have an exit and get out of here. Like, so I kind of just, I'm like, all right, I'll skip it for now. But it was just all of the steps of all of that. And the fact that they were almost had me.
Yeah,
that I was looking through it from the lens of a business owner. So yeah, and a learning I had there, an idea I had there to implement, and we did it at the first 2 camps. I don't know if you heard about this, was I wanted to figure out a way to do the envelope thing for riders and really make riders feel special.
Yeah.
So I was like, ambassador program. Let's have personal invitations from all 4 of our head coaches.
That's a great idea.
That are written letters to say, we would love to invite you as tier whatever into our ambassador program. You'll receive X, Y, and Z. We loved your effort throughout the week. The coaches sign it, goes in an envelope, and they're handed out by the coaches at the end of the week. So we did that for probably, I think like 10 riders.
Oh, you already did it.
74MX. We already did it. We implemented it like that. We did it at 74MX on Friday. They're doing it this week. They're doing it today as we speak. And people were so pumped.
Oh, I'm sure.
So pumped. They were coming up to me, like hugging me, like, this is so amazing. So, because think about how special that makes somebody feel.
Yeah. Well, it is special. Yeah.
Yeah. And wow, there was other things too.
Oh, that's
it just
brilliant.
had.
So how long did you talk to Alex on stage? Did you
I don't
have
know,
other questions or?
it was probably 15 or 20 minutes, but
That's
it
pretty
felt
good.
like a blur. It could have been 3 minutes for all I knew.
Yeah.
What else did we talk about? He is so smart.
Yeah, he
I
knows what he's
mean,
doing. I mean, there's no way around it. He's everything I've heard. I'm like, so a little bit of background for me, I guess, is I have become because I've been a filmmaker, right? But like, filmmaking is all psychology.
yeah.
It's all psychology. You do the things behind the scenes, if you will, to make people feel things. Like there's tricks that we use. There's like, I mean, I could get really nerdy about what tricks we use in filmmaking to make people feel things,
And business is all psychology.
but so this is where I'm at now in, I guess, just my life and story arc is I'm fascinated by how less storytelling and more of like storytelling I still study and all that stuff in terms of the psychology behind it, but the psychology behind communicating effectively when you have a point is what's so interesting to me. And that's what we're talking about here, right? Is you're talking about Alex, obviously, for instance, knows what he's talking about when it comes to selling things, but he knows how to communicate it and just do it right before your eyes. It's like, oh, AJ, here's the level 3. You know what I mean? For $100,000 upsell. And maybe it is a good idea. I don't know. It's fascinating to me.
And I was doing the math. I mean, there were 120 CEOs, I think, at this workshop that I was at. That was $5,000 a piece. I think they do 3 of them a month, at least 3 or 4 of them a month. So just the math on that workshop alone worked out to like 20 or 30 million a year, I'm pretty sure, is what that math was. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
But then you work in the L2 and the L3 workshop model, and it's just like, holy cow, these guys know how to make money. But it's like,
and the value's there, right? Which is
the value is 100% there, because I left that workshop for the 2 days. I'm like, well, this wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was actually going to be more one-on-one, but it was still 100% worth $5,000, because I left there with one idea that will make me millions of dollars.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's huge.
So yeah, it was, and the whole time's looking at it of the lens of me running the event, things we could change to make the event better.
So here, let me say something, because there's another lesson, I think, that's good. So you're talking about, like, we implemented the thing at 74MX already of whatever. Keep in mind the tricks. I shouldn't use the word tricks. The
strategies.
Yeah, the strategies we're using in terms of telling stories and doing upsells and all these things. Like I'm getting this vibe that at acquisition they do this internally, right? They were doing it to you guys as they were teaching you how to do it, But when we go to the coaches and say, hey, we're going to do this extra thing or whatever, the backstory is everything. Like, make sure when you're communicating these things to the team, like, we hear this backstory. You know what I mean? Because it makes so much more sense listening to you talk about it right now, rather than hearing the idea of like, oh, we're going to do this thing. It's like, well, why? But now me hearing the story of you tell it, now I'm like, I understand the experience that we're trying to create for somebody. You know what I mean? That's huge.
Okay.
Use it internally.
Yeah, I know. And it's tough because things move fast internally to where it's just like, do this. And everyone's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but like, why? We need to know why.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Just say it.
I know, especially when sometimes I just drop bombs of just like,
yeah.
Oh, all right, sure. Well,
yeah, but it makes
no
total
more
sense.
tour dates, all camps. All right, got it.
But even the experience thing, like, that's the goal, right? Is we need to create experiences. But there's so many things to logistically think about to create that for somebody.
So many. Because it's just like when you go and stay at a Ritz-Carlton or Four Seasons or a 5-star resort, that is, if you think of something, they've already thought of it for you and are providing it to you before you're even like, I needed that thing.
Yeah.
Right. They know how to address, because then what happens in a business is as you solve problems, it creates other problems for the customer. So you have to just always be thinking one step ahead of, okay, when I solve this problem, how can I then solve the next problem that surfaces?
Yeah.
And then how can I solve the next problem? And this becomes the value ladder
Right.
of the customer. So they come in at this step of the value ladder, and then you send them up the value ladder. All while, I mean, one of the core values of the Moto Academy, like the second or third core value, is offer more and better service for that than which you are paid. So as long as you're doing that, as long as you're offering more and better service for that than which you are paid, then you never have to feel the guilt of it's not a trick.
Right.
It's not a manipulation. You're just, you're convincing this person to actually believe in themselves enough to invest the money to take the next step to fix the thing that that they need to fix.
Yeah, right.
So it's like you can feel good about yourself in doing that. You're not trying to manipulate them to get them to do something that they don't need to do. In our situation, it's getting somebody to sign up for something that will stop them, lessen their chance of getting hurt.
Right.
So
yeah,
what price do you put on that? I mean, we still can feel really, really good about ourselves pricing where we are.
Yeah. And not to mention,
just,
look at all of the things in place once you do get in there. I mean, I'm just thinking about the app even. It's like,
yeah,
everything is in there. You have new friends. You have you have coaches. You have one-on-ones. You have every bit of riding you could ever find. I mean, everything is in there. You know what I mean? And it's constantly being added to. There's live streams. There's all these things. So it's like the value's there, you know? And we're talking about using the 21 days to master jumping or whatever as an example of like, hey, this is a great thing, but look at all this other stuff that you're going to find once you get in there, you know?
Yeah, when I respond to a DM in the app with a voice note, people are like, what?
Yeah.
You're actually doing this?
Yeah, you're just sitting
like
there.
they just can't believe it. And it's like, yeah, I mean,
yeah, in a good spot.
Yeah, it's on a different level. Yeah.
In a good spot. Yeah, I've been impressed. I'm starting to wrap my head around what the heck you guys have been up to for the last 2 years. I'm starting to catch up on all the campaigns and all of the other things that are happening in the business, you know? And yeah, I think it's a good direction. It's interesting.
All the ideas were good from the beginning.
Yeah.
But it was just how do you get from square one, step one to where we are now? It's really hard.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing I struggled with was the hiring of like who to put in place where.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have people owning and leading different divisions, so to speak, of your business, we're in like the weird in between phase to where we don't have executives yet. Right. We have like leaders of basically like you're kind of the director of content and media and leading that team. We've got Scott, who is leading the marketing team. We have Britt, who is leading the customer experience side of things. So if we're considering you guys, and we almost have leaders within that too, because Ethan's really stepped up at camp to lead the media guys at camp.
Yep.
What we struggled with for a long time, I think, was people owning it. And what I was trying to do, which didn't work, is I was trying to shove people into COO roles to then hand down the demands to all these people that didn't have the ownership yet. Not because they didn't want to have ownership, but because I just don't think people saw it fully, and I don't think they fully understood all of what they should be doing. And now I feel that people get it.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. I still get impatient, obviously. But
that's a personal problem. I can't help you with your patience, but yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I wish I could have gone to Vegas, but maybe next time. I just love that stuff. It's so fascinating to me. And of course you would end up on stage talking to Alex, but also it's like, you know, it's like, it's just different. It's like all those guys at the table with you at acquisition. And then you see Alex is like me going to Supercross and then seeing Eli Tomac. I'm not going to go talk to Eli Tomac. You know what I mean? It's just
the guy who got up after me was on a show called Undercover Boss. Have you ever watched that show?
Yeah.
Or heard of it?
He was on it?
He was on the show Undercover Boss, and in the show he uncovered that his employees, or one of his employees, one of the leaders, was stealing money.
I feel like I mean, maybe he doesn't have an original story, but I feel like I know the Undercover Boss
I recognize him, and I've only watched like one episode of that show ever, and it was the episode that this guy was in. He's kind of shorter.
You're
He's got
kidding.
like, he's bald, facially. You would recognize him right away.
Wow.
And he makes $50 million or $60 million a year.
Jeez.
You know, so that's the person that hopped up after me
Yeah.
to ask the question, and it just felt cool because they were all very high level leaders,
Yeah.
and they were all struggling with kind of similar issues.
Right.
And I felt like as they were all asking their questions, and you can tell they were kind of expressing their insecurities when they get into when the groups would, when they would take the breaks and everybody would kind of break apart. And it was kind of like the Moto Academy, where when we take our breaks, everyone kind of goes to the assistant coaches or the coaches, right? To ask the question that is kind of in their head.
Yep.
So that would happen. But then there would always be a line or people grouped around me in those breaks. Either the people that knew who I was and thought it was super cool, or people that were just like, holy crap, this is your business? Like, tell me more. So interesting. And then a lot of the conversations were framed around mindset.
Interesting.
And so I was getting a lot of like the mindset questions of, you know, a lot of people were kind of had reached the point where they had made more money than they ever thought possible and more money than they would ever need. And so it was like, well, what now? What's next?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of people like just expressing that they were kind of at that weird point of their lives.
That's so, I would love to know what that feels like.
It was cool. Well, it's relative to each person.
Exactly.
It's you can, I had that moment a couple of years ago, and I'm making way more money than I was a couple of years ago. But in my head, I was like, why would I ever need more than this? I'm so content. I could live in a tent.
Yeah. The government's taking all of it. Yeah, I get it.
I could live in a tent with my family and be totally happy. Like, I don't need any more than this. It was right when I stopped racing and right when the baby came.
Yeah.
So my whole life just flipped upside down, and my perspective shifted on what is valuable is my time.
Right.
I've talked about this in the podcast many times, but what is valuable is my time. It is not more money.
Right.
And
true.
So when you understand that, and when you believe, and the mantra that and I believed it right from when I first started saying this, but now I really believe it, and now Allie believes it, is I would say, I have more money, we have more money than we would ever need, and this is the least amount of money that we would ever make. Say that to yourself over and over every day and see how that makes you feel. I have more money than I would ever need, and this is the least amount of money I would ever make.
Yeah.
You just feel like so abundant, and it just feels so good.
It's a good
and
mindset.
It's relative to you, because somebody could be saying that when they make 50 grand a year or 30 grand. It's totally relative to you. It's just a belief system.
Yeah.
And what I noticed is that the other CEOs at this workshop struggled with that. A lot of them, I think, were beginning in the early stages of recognizing that maybe they were chasing the dollar, and they just didn't know what the next thing was.
You're right.
So I just felt good in knowing that, like, I kind of figured that out. I'm doing the thing I want to be doing. There's other than being with my family, there's nothing I would rather do than ride my dirt bike and teach people how to ride a dirt bike. And so if that's how I'm generating income, then great.
Yeah.
We've done it.
Yeah, you should ride your dirt bike every now and again.
I rode a good amount. I rode a good amount this week.
Oh, good.
Sort of.
At Moto Land?
Not really. I'm just kidding. That's not that. I didn't.
I
rode more at 74.
Have you deep dove much into like leadership?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm interested in where you've been in that realm too, because that's something I spend a good amount of time on. Obviously for me, it's more like faith-based leadership, because like because at church I have 27 volunteers that I'm responsible for. I'm using air quotes. So leadership is everything, and I'm always trying to be better there. And now it's interesting to be, it's very weird to be back with the Moto Academy, right? Because I was Ethan, I was Cohen, I was Ryan at one point, and I haven't had that opportunity to come in with like that level of understanding, and then be a leader for those guys either, and it's very important to me that I do that well. So creating environments just internally and leadership and all those things are things that fascinate me.
Yeah, it's it's hard because you know me too. Like I'm not one to really my love language. I'm not good at the love language of words of affirmation.
You have a love language? What's your love language?
You know, my love language would be physical touch and quality time.
My number one is quality time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
where like Allie's is words of affirmation.
Same with my
She doesn't
wife.
want me to touch her. She wants me to get away from her and just tell her nice things.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not good at that because it doesn't, and I'm not good at, I shouldn't say, I'm not good at it yet. Okay. And
Yeah, you got to keep
I'm not
working
good at it
towards that.
yet. I'm not good at it yet because I don't need it myself at all. At all. And so when it comes to leadership, it's really important. You want to put people up. You need to create motivation. You need to create morale. You need to help share the vision so that way they see where they're headed. You have to lead by example, which that's the easy part as far as like show people that you're not just like sitting back and telling them what to do. I don't think that's an issue for either of us. But the one thing I learned from this workshop when it came to leadership is they were talking about team calls. And they said that they do one team call a week for 40 minutes. I'm like, you only do one team call a week for 40 minutes with all of these people? And I go, how do you start your team calls? Because we start our team calls with a scorecard, and I fear that all it does is kill everybody's morale right off the bat.
Everything's in red.
They just see a bunch of red on the scorecard, and even if I don't put them down because of it, they just like they feel down. And I'm like, so that's where we start off on every Monday. And he's like, no, yeah, don't do that. He goes, we start off every Monday team call with shout outs.
Is this Alex? You're talking to Alex
this is
about
Alex.
this?
No, I was talking to Ed, who is one of the executives.
Shout out Ed.
But he said Alex and Layla, who's Alex's wife, will start out those Monday team calls by shouting out specific employees and mentioning things that they did that week.
Interesting.
So that's what I'm going to change. I'm going to implement that into our team calls. Instead of starting with the scorecard, I'm going to start with the shout outs and be very careful about the way that we approach the scorecard.
Yeah.
And I had already started doing that because we had a long scorecard that was maybe a little bit too much. And then we've condensed it to the team call version, which is only like 6 KPIs. But it still can kind of steer the morale of the conversation a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's creating culture is kind of where I land on these things. Is like how, because you can create culture, so it's like, how do you create the culture that you want to see? You know what I mean?
The camps are making it way easier because when people get to go to the camp and see the team culture there where everyone's working super hard, working together, seeing what it's all about and why we're doing all this hard work in the first place, that's really helpful.
Yeah.
I think it's tough it can be more difficult for somebody like Al that's in the UK and putting in all this work. And a lot of times he can't see what's on the other end of all that work.
The time zones are different. Just, he's really not seeing it. Yeah.
But, yep. Well, so I'm trying to like in those moments, I remember at 74, I sent Al a picture or FaceTime something. And I said, this is because of you. Like you booked this camp. Yeah. We're all here because of you. So dude, just little stuff like that.
You know, what's interesting is the older that I get, the more I wish we didn't work from home, which is like a bizarre thing. But we got to 74 max, right? And we get back from day one, Monday, me, Cohen, Ed, and Ethan, Ryan, we're all editing. We're all doing something. Everyone else is like going to bed. And Ethan goes, man, I wish we had a content house. And I'm like, yeah, it would be so much easier. Like we would get so much done if this was the space that we were always in. And we could just bounce ideas the whole time and just hammer through stuff. But I don't know. It's a weird change because for years and years, the American dream has been, I don't want to go to work anymore. I want to work from home. But it's amazing what you can get done when you're all together,
Yeah. When you have a team, like, especially like us, that we all get along and are working together towards the same goal.
But it's also that
it was fun.
Sorry.
It was fun being in the house. Yeah. It was really fun being in the house this week because it was just like, man, I'm so lucky to be a part of this.
Yeah. And you've heard I'm sure you've heard this sentence, and I might botch it, but it's like, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with people. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
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 It's like, it's just different. It's just so different than it used to be. It's great. You know what I mean?
And we'll have that content house very soon. I think that I'm going to have no option this year but to purchase something really cool.
Can it please be somewhere warm?
I don't know where to do it yet.
Why do
so I
you
need
live
some
in
help.
Connecticut, by the way? I mean, I guess
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
guess the baby and your family's there. Do you still like Connecticut? Like, you're into
Well,
that?
so okay, I don't we made the decision today. I made the decision today. Really freaking difficult, dude. Have you had to put a dog down before? You have, right?
I mean, I was young, so not
Okay.
really.
So
Well, actually,
I
guess it was a few days ago. Anyway, or
so
a few
I
years
called
ago.
the place today
Yeah.
and had to say it tomorrow.
Oh, good night.
Yeah. So that was really hard. Dude, really hard.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. It didn't hit home until I made that call. And I started that call totally fine. But then I'm like, oh my God, tomorrow. Where am I going with this? Anyways. So bringing this back, Allie goes, this is like life-changing. Why don't we just move? If we're going to experience this much of a life change, why don't we just move and really go full bore with this life change? And I was like, cool. Okay. I like that idea.
Yeah.
But I still don't know where.
Yeah. Well, you and I can talk about that because I have some preferences on my end of the deal.
Okay. I want to figure it out sooner than later because it's something that, man, it would help for so many reasons.
Yeah. No, but it's awful.
I can't
also,
figure out where.
Those things are tough. Those things are tough. You do just want to get away. Whether that's the right decision or not, I think depends on the person, but it's just
my mindset is I think when I get emotional because it's a weird thing to have to make the decision.
Yeah, and it's
yourself.
It's your family. I mean, that's a family member.
And then I think I worry a lot about Allie.
Yeah,
obviously. But I'm dealing with it well because I have a real belief of what death is, and I'm not afraid of death at all. I don't think it's the end. I think it's just you go back home, you know? So it's not that. So when I start to get emotional, I think about the fact that I'm getting emotional selfishly because I'm worried about losing something that it's not like I'm not worried about the dog. I don't feel bad for the dog. Does that make sense? So when you start to get really emotional about that, it's like, well, I'm just pitying. It's kind of a me problem. I guess grieving I'm sure it's healthy, right? But I don't think you have to be overindulged in, it doesn't have to be overwhelmingly sad. It should be celebrated. Like, there's different cultures all over the world. I don't know if it was like a yogi culture or what, where there's a ceremony that they do where they set fire to the person that died, and it's a huge celebration. They're dancing and there's music, and it's not looked at as sad at all because they think they have a complete belief system in place of what happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously from a faith background, like like
when your mom passed and your pastor said he was jealous.
Wow, you remember that?
Yeah.
How did you remember
because
that?
Because I remember that sticking with me, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's absolutely right. That's exactly what he said.
Yep.
He got up there and we called him. We called him when it happened, and he's like, "Man, I'm jealous." It was the most profound thing I think I've ever heard. And I'm not someone who, like, I'm not one of those Christians who is like just get me there. Like, I think you're kind of missing the point if that's your mindset. Like, I'm actually like begging for time because I want to bring my friends with me, is how I look at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Not that I have the power to do that, but you know, it's like, I want to go with as many people as possible. So I'm not one of those people who's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. But, there's so much there, but here from a faith perspective, and I'm sorry to bring this on the podcast. I'm really not trying to put this on people. Like that's really not who I am, but I had to do a lot of soul searching where I was like, what is this? And even with the dog, right? Because it's a horrible thing and you should be emotional about it. But biblically, death was not part of the original plan. You know what I mean? So like when you lose even a dog, but you lose a person, you lose whatever, it is unnatural. It's supposed to feel unnatural because it is unnatural. It wasn't part of the original deal here. The original deal was this perfect idea of like no death and no all this stuff, and then we screwed it up. You know what I mean? So when you like loss and emotion, like that's totally fair. It's an unnatural thing to watch happen, you know, but you know, also like, yes, from a faith perspective, there's quite a bit of upside. So
Yeah, it just, to experience life, there has to be death. To experience good, there has to be bad. Before you got here and after you're gone, there is not that, what is that called?
what? What is this called?
What's good and bad and warm and cold and life and death. What? Oh God, people are yelling into the microphone right now. Help.
Mate, I don't know where you're headed with this one.
It's what are the difference between those two things called? Duality.
There we go. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Do you know that word?
Yes, I know, but I wouldn't have gotten there.
Okay.
Anyway.
Before you got here and after you leave, there is no longer that. You are one. We are all connected. It's all like, there's not a hot and a cold. There's not a life and a death. But to experience this here, you have that. Because if you didn't have the other thing, if you didn't have death, you couldn't have life. Right?
I mean,
I don't know.
But
anyhow,
you may have lost me at the end there. But
as soon as I get emotional, I just think about, well, I'm only getting emotional because we're worried about losing something that was inevitably going to be lost.
Yeah.
And it's like selfish of us to think that, oh, well, 1 more year or 4 more years, like that's all the same. It's a blip. There's no difference between an hour a day or a week or a month or a year or 10 years. It's all a blip. So you just have to, yeah. But it's just pretty surreal, just mostly because it happened very quick.
Yeah, what? Like
really quick.
Seemed out of nowhere.
It completely out of nowhere.
Bear's only 10 years old, right?
Yeah, and he had a seizure when I was gone this week, which is why I had to come home.
Oh.
She rushed him to the vet, and then he got scans done, and then they found basically just absolutely littered with cancer, all the way just metastasized. Is that what it's called? So just
yeah, just everywhere.
Final stage of just it's everywhere.
That's
so
awful.
The vet was just basically said gave us no options other than essentially, you should think about the timing of, saying goodbye this week.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day it was at camp, and I get that call from Allie in the middle of teaching Blue Group, and I'm like, I'm sorry guys, Ethan's like, it's an emergency, and I'm like, oh my God, what the heck? So I jet out.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I'm just hopped on the next flight home, obviously.
Right.
But what's weird about it is like I'll go upstairs right now, and he's like, fine.
Yeah, it's
kind
awful.
of. Yeah, but he doesn't have an appetite. He gets really out of breath really quick. It just all happened kind of all at once.
Well, quit hanging out with me. Good grief.
What?
I said, quit hanging out with me. Go hang out with them.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, this has been too long. So what are we at? An hour and four?
Dude, we can't do it less than 2 hours, apparently. Good
Yeah,
night.
what the heck? Well, this was a good one. I mean, we were all over the freaking place.
Well, here's, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, just go spend time with them, will you? That's just awful. I remember when we got Moto, which is my dog. Day two. I don't think she would mind me sharing this. Day 2. I walk upstairs. Grady's holding the puppy, crying. And I'm like, what's going on? She's like, he's going to die one day. I'm just like,
oh, really?
I'm like, gosh, dang it.
He's going to die one day.
You know?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
hopefully we got some time.
I know. It's surreal. And a lot of you, so many people listening to this, I know can relate to having to have done that with a dog. And yeah. So, okay. I mean, I'm going to go spend time with them.
Yeah, what a depressing way to end the podcast, Albert. Good night.
Yeah, sorry guys. I'll be more positive at the beginning of next week's podcast.
No, it's really okay.
Episode, still don't know.
I don't
You guys
know.
can tell us.
I don't have a clue.
But okay. Toodles.